Hello, my little potato, you beautiful soul. You know, I always like to start off with I love you, so I love you. Um, you know, we didn't work on things today, but like I'm like treating this as a vacation reset because in the end, that's what I need in order for me to be able to act from a place of feeling good, not just about myself, but like my body, my company, all the things that I'm working towards. And we were on the beach earlier, and it's 2 o'clock, it's 2:20 in the morning, and we were eating a sandwich on the beach. And I said, eating even the act of eating a sandwich on the beach with a friend at past midnight is abundance because even um, at home. I don't eat at night and I deny myself things. And, I deny myself so many things. And I need to work on not that, work on giving myself permission, and allowing myself to do the things that make me feel good. So if I'm hungry at night, I'm going to eat at night and not feel, rather than feeling guilty about it, like see the joy and the happiness in it, because even I say like some of my favorite accounts are my favorite because the people in them enjoy food instead of denying like they enjoy food and that's what the channel is known for, and I want to enjoy my life. And today I woke up, it was like I was like, oh, what time is it? And it was like 9, it was 10:30, and I was like, oh. And then we kind of went around and we went to Publix and I got this ultimate sandwich. It was so good, right? And then we went to this place that had gelato, and surprisingly, I had gelato, but I had vanilla gelato, and it was vanilla with like sea salt. So that little extra, taking something ordinary, making a little extra, and that was my favorite, which is surprising because typically vanilla is not my favorite. Typically love chocolate, but they didn't have that today, so it was interesting. And then we went to the Marine Life Center and we saw the sea turtles, and they had sea turtles in tanks, and then there's like baby sea turtles, you see them, and there was moon jelly, which was interesting, and like lionfish and seahorses, and it was just kind of cool to watch, and then of course, I added another topic to my list of topics that I have going for my children's books that I'm writing because I'm always picking up topics, I'm like, ooh, that would be fun to write about, and like an adventure or something. And, and came home after all of that, and I laid down to I said, I'm going to just take a quick nap. 3 hours later, like Gilligan's Island, my 3-hour tour, except that I was sleeping. I was out cold, she said. And then I woke up, and then we talked a little bit, and I had class tonight, and we met the new teacher, and like all 4 of us were excited about this new teacher. Whoops. We were excited about the new teacher, and we were telling him about our companies, and he's like interested in all of them. And for me, for all of us, he's like, you guys each have $100 million companies, which it's always nice when you have someone new who is able to see the vision for where you are going, and what you're doing. And it's like I say, even the encouragers need encouraging. Like the teacher being able to see that, and he says, I'm in the process of revamping the curriculum, and this is what I ask of you. And he asks that we each watch the class, and then we'll come to class, and we'll talk about the class, like the master class, and say, okay, what do you think, and then move on from there. So that way, it's not 1 hour spent about talking about a 30-minute topic. It's 1 hour that's used well to maximum efficiency. And I learned about, using different things for because the focus of this class is going to be more about your tech stack and AI, and about using AI to help you with the task that, like lead generation, customer service, like on my website, I didn't do an AI chatbot. I did a quiz because I felt like the quiz to me felt more personal, because I didn't just throw together a quiz. I thought of a quiz that I thought would give people an insight into a little bit of me and my personality and what I'm like, versus, hey, here's a quiz. And like, to be honest, when I go on websites, I'm annoyed by the AI chatbots. And I understand that, like, for a company like a car dealership, like, you may need them, they set an appointment or, whatever. But with my products, because I'm not in that space, and I'm on the which product is best, I'm on the where my website is currently is, you're looking for the product that's best for you and your needs. And basically my quiz is a product recommender, and not just a product recommender, but it gives you 3 different suggestions. So because if I'm gonna ask someone to take a 13-question quiz, I'm not just going to give them one option. Because for me, when I take quizzes, I'm like, okay, well, what are the other things that I could have gotten, right? So if you put in the effort once to do the quiz, then you can have 3 options, and you can decide which one is best for you. Which one calls to you. So that's where I am. I will say that I do need to redo my website so that it's better, right? But that's where I am now. And that's things that I need to work on as well. But and then we talked today in class about what our North Star metric is and what that could be for different people. And for me right now, one thing that he said that was interesting is, maybe your North Star metric is, you notice there's more traction when you make 10 videos a week, like for social media, versus when you make 15 videos a week or 25 videos a week. And so I've been working on making more videos for social media, of course, and sharing about my life and my journey. And I admit that I'm not as consistent as I would like, but there's things that I'm working on in order to be better. And I know that better doesn't happen overnight. Better happens with small steps, right? And small sustainable steps, and just doing the things and the practices and the exercises that make you a better person, or better at your craft, or better at being a founder, all of those things. And it's funny because the teacher tonight, he mentioned that he teaches class 10, which is about AI, and he also teaches class 11. And he said class 11 is typically where founders fail, but class 11 is where you become the financial person and you become like the CFO. Now, fortunately for me, when that time comes, I do have someone that I'm going to hire as my CFO, because he has the skills. And more importantly, he seems to lead with integrity, which is very important to me. Because when you lead with integrity, then I know that you are more trustworthy. So either I'm going to hire him or he's going to help me hire someone else. Either way. And he's already agreed to that. And for me right now, my focus for the next 6 weeks is to not just become a better founder, but to also work more on speaking up for myself, advocating for myself, my brand, and who I am, such that next year at this time, I can say that I'm a completely different person. I live a totally different lifestyle. I live in a place that I love, right? And I do activities that make me happy, so all of the activities that I do lead with joy and compassion and grace and healing and happiness, and that I get paid for being me, right? And I think that so many people, that's the hardest thing to do, is to get paid for being them, because you're like, what am I supposed to do? Because you see yourself as ordinary. And if people knew what your life was really like and who you are and what you've built and what you've done, you would see that you are actually extraordinary. But like we said, we're so far into it. We're like, oh, I'm ordinary. Like I say all the time that I'm ordinary, and people would say, you're not ordinary. Your life is extraordinary. And I said, yes. But the thing is that this is my ordinary life, right? And so to me, it's ordinary, because it's like, oh, this is my normal. This is what I do. And I have to realize that, like, I do live an extraordinary life. For example, I mean, how many people can say with 26 cents in your bank account that you're able to travel often, or at least more often than, like I went to California for a weekend, and then I came back, and then I went to New Orleans for half the week, and then I came back and literally was home for one day and left again. And here I am in Florida, and I go back on Thursday, and Friday I meet with my beta coach. Saturday I meet with my mentor, and in between I'm able to live a life, and I'm building where I am, right? And I have support and people that love me for me. And I think that's so abundant in itself, because how many of us are doing things and hoping that people like us? And the truth is that not everybody has to like you, right? Not everybody has to like me. Not everyone has to understand what I'm doing. Do I understand what I'm doing? Yes. If there are 100 people and 10 of them buy my product, right? That's good. That's actually pretty great, And if there are 100 people and 30 people buy my products, any one of my products, that's amazing, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why I make so many different products, because in order to reach a greater market share, if I hit a little bit, I'm like, oh, this person would like that, and some people would like this, And maybe you enter at one place where you enter like with the guided journals, and then later on you find out about the coloring books, and you're like, oh, I could do that. And so that increases, and it's just a repeat customer. So I enjoy all of that. I enjoy thinking about that fact, that I don't just have one point of entry, I have multiple points of entry. And that's better for me all in the long run. So I guess that's really all I got for you today. I don't think of it as, and I just wanted to share that with you. And always, I appreciate that you take time out of your day to listen to me when I know that you have your own things going on. And every now and then, I just like to remind you that no matter what it is that you may have going on, it's ordinary to you, it's extraordinary to someone else. But besides that, I always want you to remember that God's got me and I've got you. And that means that we are God. I hope you never forget that. So thank you again for listening. I love you and talk to you tomorrow.